Everybody for years and years now has talked about Jason Whitlock. Well, I don't think anybody has truly studied Jason Whitlock. Like really looked at the guy and said, who is this guy? How has he become this person? How has he made his, his knots? How has he bumped himself up to this position? You hear stuff, especially in the black community, about this cat, calling him a coon and things of that nature. But then you hear stuff from a lot of his superiors in the past have called him bold, brave, and courageous. I don't really rock with words like coon because I think it's too simple of a word to describe what he's doing. I mean, you could describe it as that, but he's not the only person who does that. He ain't the only person of any race or gender who does what he's doing. What he's doing is, it's like I would call it cowardice disguised as courage. That's what I would call it. Cowardice disguised. The reason why I call it that is because they're calling him brave because he's supposedly going against the norm whenever he shits on black leaders or black players. They call him brave. But the thing is, if you listen to his tone and what he says about the Tom Brady's and Bill Belichick's of the world versus what he'll say about the Cam Newtons and the LeBron Jameses of the world, it's a different tone. He ain't that bold, or else he would be putting everybody in the same category and talking about them in the same frame. When he talks about Tom Brady, he talks about Tom Brady's football. His football. He doesn't talk about Deflategate. He ain't even going there. I mean, let's keep it real. At no point is he going to say, yo, that's one of the most disgusting examples of cheating ever. It's one thing to drop the ball. It's one thing for a ref to make the wrong call. It's another thing to actually tamper with the equipment. That's disgusting. If you did that anywhere, you could, number one, you could hurt somebody. If you tampered with, say you was in bobsledding, you were tampering with the bobsled equipment for the other team. People would think that was disgusting. If you were in track and you took the soles out of your opponent's shoes before the match, people would think that was disgusting. So for me, I think it's whack the way he approaches it. The way he approaches it, I think is garbage. Oh, okay, I'll let those guys slide. At one point, he was talking about apologies. He was seriously talking about apologies. Like, not that Tom Brady should apologize to the NFL or the Patriots should apologize to the NFL for sneaking in people's huddles and tampering with equipment, but that the NFL should apologize for telling them, hey, dude, you can't tamper with people's equipment and you can't sneak into people's huddles. That's the type of... So how is that brave? Bravery would have stood on the side of what's right, regardless of whether it was a black or Hispanic player or a, Caucasian player. And Jason Whitlock doesn't do that. In no way is this man brave. He's been controversial because he's willing to sound like Sean Hannity, except he's black. That's the only thing that's interesting about it. He's black, but he sounds like Sean Hannity. If he was Sean Hannity saying it, we wouldn't be interested at all. He'd just be Sean Hannity saying it. We might be interested in the beginning, like, how long has it been since anyone cared about Sean Hannity? Right, quite some time. Because after a while, you go, okay, it's an old conservative white dude. He's saying old conservative white dude things. And that's no disrespect to conservatives. But just that guy is him, so you get used to, okay, this is what Hannity's going to say. O'Reilly's going to say this again. It's pretty standard nonsense. Whatever. But when you put a Jason Whitlock up there to say the things that Hannity or these guys would say, you go, whoa, that's coming out of a different fucking package. That shit's interesting. He's like a fucking novelty item. It's like, that's what he's like, a novelty item. And it's not new. He's not new to being a fucking novelty item. He's always been a fucking novelty item. He was a novelty item when he was writing bullshit articles at the Kansas City Star. He was a novelty item then because he would say things like that then. He found himself talking reckless shit about Al Sharpton and guys who had nothing to do with fucking sports. And they were like, oh, that's a novelty item. This guy's entertaining. They gave him awards for that. They rewarded it. So that's what they do. They reinforce his novelty behavior that some would call cooning, but I don't like calling black people coons. I don't really rock with that word. It's just cowardice disguised. It's courage. He's a novelty. Listen to his actual analytics. Is there anything interesting analytics-wise? Does he analyze games well? Does he analyze players well? No. He sits there, listens to whatever the other two black guys or one black guy on the panel says and says, okay, cool, I got to say the opposite so I can be the novelty. Rarely ever does he say. And then you get Collins sometimes saying, okay, well, let me be let me be the opposite to Jason to make it interesting or whatever. And that's kind of how they run the show. It's interesting. It certainly is entertaining. But this guy's not to be taken serious at all. He's a fucking novelty. So I don't know why people even stress over him. So Jason Whitlock, man. I don't know why I keep listening to dudes like that. But anyway, if you don't want to hear nonsense like that, you don't want to hear novelties, you want to hear the real shit. Beard, beer, and sports. And by the way, I like that show. I'm just telling you, Jason Whitlock is used as an entertainment novelty. Don't take that guy so serious. You know, he's always so angry. He looks like he's about to lose his chest every time somebody black gets $1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 3 of Beard, Beer, and Sports. And we talked that real shit. Sports and politics do mix. They always have. Don't let them hustle you into thinking they don't. Peace.